Hi friends, as we had already discussed in our previous lecture that today we are going to discuss about Morgan's experiment. Now Morgan's experiment is important because Morgan has done lot many experiments on fruit fly. Fruit fly, its biological name is Drosophila melanogaster. This Drosophila melanogaster, it has various types, color of eyes, types of wings. So Morgan selected this fruit fly. Now when he was doing lot many experiments on fruit fly, he was actually expecting the Mendelian results. As we all know, Mendel's dihybrid cross, the ratio is 9:3:3:1. But when he was doing experiments with Drosophila, always he got some deviations. And why he was getting the deviations, that we are going to know when we'll be talking about the Morgan's experiment, and we'll come to know why he was getting the deviations, because the expected result in a dihybrid cross was 9:3:3:1. But he couldn't get this result. The reasons today we are going to discuss in our lecture, why he was not able to achieving the results. Secondly, Morgan's experiment and its important. Now, this is the cross which was done by Morgan. Now, Morgan knew that these genes which we are going to talk, they are located on X chromosome. So, if we could see here the cross A and cross B. Now in cross A, he selected two characters since this was a dihybrid. In cross A, one parent is of yellow bodied and white colored eye, and the other is wild type. When the cross is done, F1 generation he got, and as usual after F1 generation we do the selfing, or the self fertilization is done, and then we get F2 generation. In F2 generation, if we could see the results, parental type was 98.7%. That means almost 99% of the progeny of F2 generation was showing resemblance to the parental type. And the recombinations were very less. They were only 1.3%. So this was surprising for the Morgan also. Now why this happens and what is the reason? So if we could see again here in the parental genotype, we can clearly see that the two genes which are located here, they are very close to each other. This Y and W, which carries a particular trait, Y yellow body and W white eye, they are very close to each other. That means when the genes are close to each other, they show linkage, and if the linkages are there, then they doesn't get segregated, and that is the reason the parental type is 99%. So here, because of the linkage is more, the parental type is high and the recombination is extreme less. Now the second condition in cross B, here again he took two traits, white miniature wings, and crossed it with a wild type. Now again F1 generation and then the F2 generation. But in F2 generation, now surprisingly parental type is 62.8%, that is 69%. And the recombination rate is very high as compared to the A, cross A. So the recombination is almost 37.2. Now why he got high recombinations here? The high recombinations he got in cross B is only because these two genes, they are far. They are having distance in between and they are not tightly linked. So if the genes are far away from each other, they can show recombinations. So here parental type 60 3% and the recombination that they got is 37%. So this clearly indicates that the linkage plays an important role in independent assortment or in the recombination traits. Hope it is clear. We'll see once again here. Now see, in cross A the linkage is more in A. So linkage is more. So parental type, high linkage. We get 99% parental type, less recombination. Whereas in cross B, when the chromosomes, the genes they are situated, they are far away from each other. So the linkage is low in cross B. Since the linkage is low, recombination is high. Now here the plus sign, you can see this plus sign, it shows dominant wild type alleles. They are represented by the plus sign. So here we need to understand one thing, that linkage and recombinations are inversely proportional. Try to remember this line. Linkage and recombination are inversely proportional. So more linkage, less recombination, and less linkage, more recombination is seen. Clear? Now we are going to discuss about sex determination. Now sex determination, the term was given by Henkin in 1891. In 1891, when he was stressing a specific nuclear structure during the spermatogenesis in few insects, he observed that 50% of the sperm received the structure after spermatogenesis and 50% couldn't. So that structure which 50% have received, he named it as X body. And nowadays this X body we call it as X chromosome. So this X chromosome or X body is important during the determination of sex. Now we are going to discuss about determination of sex in humans. In humans it is XY type. Then we are going to discuss sex determination in birds, which is ZWZZ type, and in honeybees it is haplodiploid sex determination system. So now we'll see one by one. So the one we are going to discuss sex determination in humans. In our yesterday's lecture we had already discussed about in humans we have total 46 chromosomes. Out of these 46 chromosomes, if we could say it is a female, then 44 are the autosomes plus 2 are the sex chromosomes. Since it is a genotype of female, then both the chromosomes will be XX. When it comes for a male, 44 autosomes plus XY. So if we could see here that female, she has only one chromosome, sex chromosome, that is X present, whereas in male it is both the chromosomes X and Y. So during gametogenesis, females always produce 22 plus X. So females, they are homogametic. Whereas male, they produce 22 plus X. The sperm might contain 22 plus X or the sperm might contain 22 plus Y. That means males, they are heterogametic. So from here we can clearly conclude that when it comes for a female, all the gametes will be having only one sex chromosome, that is X, and the male will be having two types of sperms. One will be carrying X chromosome and the other will be carrying Y chromosome. So the sex of the child will be purely determined by the male, since male is heterogametic. Depending upon the condition which sperm fertilizes the egg or the ovum, the sex of the child can be restored at the time of fertilization itself. Now we'll see the cross. Now when we are doing the cross here, so father and mother, as we have discussed, father X and Y, mother X, X. So the gametes which are produced here, X, Y, and then X, X. So the cross XX, this will be a female child. Again XX, this will be a female child. XY, male child, and again XY, male child. So we can see here female child and male child, the ratio is 50-50%, or it is 1:1. So from here we can conclude that the sex of the fetus or the child is purely dependent upon the father, the type of sperm that fertilizes the egg, and the ratio is always 1:1. But unfortunately in India, the female fetism is quite common. Lot of people, they don't want a female child or a female fetus, and many, what we can say, there are some regulations also. So one of the regulation is PNDT. So this PNDT is prenatal diagnostic techniques, ideally sonographies, we all know, or there is some amniocentesis where the sex of the fetus can be determined, and if it is a female child, then most of the time it is aborted or it is removed. So to control this type of unlawful acts by the people, this law is there which prevents the female fetism. Now we are going to discuss about sex determination in birds. Now in birds it is quite reversed condition. In sex determination is birds, it is of ZW ZZ type. Now it is very interesting to know that in birds, males, they are homogametic. Now see, in the males of the birds, they are homogametic because they have ZZ type of sperms, whereas females, they are heterogametic because they produce two types of eggs. One may be with Z or one may be with W. So female in birds, they play a role in determination of sex because they are heterogametic. So if we could do the cross here, male, female, male has these chromosomes, female has ZW. So the cross is done. These are the gametes which are produced. This will be male. Again this will be male. This will be female. This will be female. So as we can see here, male and female ratio is again same, that is 50-50%, or it is 1:1 even in case of birds. So in birds again it is ZW ZZ type, where the males are homogametic because they are having both the chromosomes of ZZ, whereas female has ZW. So female, she determines the sex of fetus at the time of fertilization because she is heterogametic. Now we are going to discuss sex determination in honeybees. Now honeybees, again it is quite interesting to know how the sex is being determined. In honeybees, the sex is determined by the method which is known as haplodiploid sex determination. Now we all know in honeybee there are three types of honeybee. That is queen, then comes worker bees and the drones. Queen, female. Worker bees, they are also female, and drones, they are the males. Now it is interesting to know that queen and worker bees both are diploid, and drones or males, they are haploid. Now if we could see female, which is a diploid, so they are having 32 chromosomes. They will undergo meiosis because gametes are going to form here, so meiosis, and at the end of meiosis haploid eggs are produced. So N is haploid, eggs are produced. Now in case of male, since the male is already haploid, it undergoes mitosis and it restores the number, that is 16. So when the female will lay the eggs, male will fertilize the eggs. So here fertilization will be done. When the male will fertilize the egg, diploid number will be restored. So all the fertilized egg will develop into females, and the eggs which were not fertilized, they will undergo parthenogenesis. Parthenogenesis, that means development of new offspring or fertilization or development without fertilization. So parthenogenesis, now they will develop without fertilization, and all will be now males because males are having haploid number of chromosomes 16. So all will develop in males, that means drones. So in honeybee, haplodiploid sex determination, queen, worker, they are female, 2N, they have a complete set of chromosome. Drones or males, they are haploid. So female will undergo meiosis, will produce egg. After laying the egg, male, mitosis will be done because 16 number is there, so it will restore 16 number, mitosis. Male will fertilize the egg. When male will fertilize the egg, N plus N, 2N, 32 number is restored, all will be females. And the eggs which are not fertilized, parthenogenetically, they will produce the offspring. So without fertilization, males can be produced or the drones can be produced, and that is the reason this is known as haplodiploid sex determination in honeybee. So friends, today we had discussed about the Morgan's experiment, cross A, cross B. Here we need to remember that linkage is more in cross A, so less recombinations can be seen. Parental type is high, 99%. In cross B, linkage is less, so the parental combinations are less. We can see the recombinations here. So the linkage and recombinations are inversely proportional. So Morgan's experiment, we had discussed one thing that we need to remember here, the crossover, the process which produces recombinations of genes by exchanging corresponding segments between non-sister chromatids of homologous chromosome is known as a crossing over. Then we had discussed about the sex determination. Sex determination in humans, sex determination in birds and in honeybee. In human, female is homogametic and males are heterogametic. So male are responsible for the sex of fetus. Then in birds, female is heterogametic, so she is responsible for the sex in fetus. And then we had discussed about the determination of sex in honeybees. So in honeybees it is haplodiploid sex determination, where queen, worker, they are diploid. Queen has authority to lay the eggs, worker never lay the eggs, so only queen will lay the eggs. She is diploid, so when female is diploid, meiosis will be done, haploid eggs are produced, male will undergo mitosis, will restore the number because is already haploid. So when male will fertilize the eggs, diploid number is restored and the females can be produced. Whereas the unfertilized eggs will undergo parthenogenesis, and without fertilization they can develop males or drones. So this is the haplodiploid sex determination in honeybees. Hope this is clear. Stay home, stay safe.